Hello everyone, and today I have a video that I kind of have been thinking about since for a couple of days, but mostly because yesterday there was some streamers, to be exact, that are very known to the public eye, and just in general, there's been a lot of YouTube videos covering this topic. I feel like maybe I don't really know, I haven't really looked it up much just because, but it seems like there's a lot of negativity when it comes to this, and that would be console gamers, well, specifically Xbox players, mostly because Xbox has had it for a longer time. They've been playing more, and for some reason, because you're an Xbox player, it doesn't make you a true Smite player. I don't understand that phrase at all. I really don't get why that's a thing. Even if you have a community that has had the game for longer than 2 years, I feel like you're considered a community. Especially because I've been playing the game. I'll say specifically me. I'm one of the few people that I know. Well, I'm pretty much the only person that I know that has been playing the game since I think it was the alpha when it was like in patch 2.18 or 19, somewhere around there. Probably even less than that. I do remember the last time was 2.20 with it was called the Prince Reborn, if I'm not mistaken, and that was specifically when Naja got reworked, or I think it was a rework or a card art redone. And during this time, this was when everyone was learning the game on console, and of course things are different when you learn the game on a different console or a different system. There's a different community, there's different players, things like that that you have to get used to because everyone plays the game differently when it comes to, I guess, their play styles. And the PC players, of course, have had the game a lot longer than Xbox players had it since the game was, just freaking made. It was created, and the alpha was there for them. They had like the very, very first wave. They were like in season 0, things like that, obviously. And then we jumped in 2 years later, and we've had the game ever since. We've got the updates ever since, and we've pretty much had all of the new items and stuff like that. So we've seen the game progress since halfway through season 2. And this is something that PS4 players haven't seen, so I guess this is why kind of the Xbox side gets the hate a little bit more for some reason. Also because this is where most of the competitive scene is in terms of the teams and things like that for like the SPL, console LAN, and all those things. And the one thing I really don't understand is why would you want to make those players, the console players, specifically the Xbox players, again, feel like less of players because of their console of choice. I mean, I get that you're a PC player and you like to talk specifically about how great PC is, or you just prefer the gameplay of PC because it's faster, smoother, things like that, and more things happen. It's just better gameplay. I understand that. I would play on PC too if I had a decent PC to play on. That'll come one day in the future for me, hopefully. But that's not the point. It's the fact that I play on console because this is what I like. I play on console because this is what I have. This is what was given to me, and I enjoy it. It's fun to me, and I really, really love Smite. I'm one of the few people I know that really, really enjoy Smite, to the point that I know majority of what every god does. I know what items to do, counter building, things like that. And that's not what majority of the community does, and I understand this. Majority of the community on Xbox play the game to play the game. They don't play the game to, understand it or understand that certain characters counter certain things, or don't tower dive. Again, this lobby, the reason behind this lobby and the reason why everyone kind of looks like they're playing, or they're bots pretty much, is because, and my aim is pretty off, but it's the fact that I was queuing up with two friends of mine who just got into Smite recently on Xbox, so they just got consoles and they wanted to play. So I was like, well, if you guys just want to play, then I'm down. So they were really, really low level, so we were queuing up with people who were really, really low people, and I didn't know this until a couple of matches in. It kind of caught me off guard. So what you see is this is pretty much the Xbox community for the people that are learning the game. And again, I didn't say anything about majority of these people because they're just learning the game. Like, the Bologna player is a very, very good friend of mine, and I wanted to help them out as much as I can. And that's one thing that I feel like nobody wants to do in this community, is help out the players. If you're a console player, everyone just wants to criticize you, and I am guilty of this. I have done this plenty of times. I know I have. And it's mostly for the experienced players that I've done this for. It's never really the newbies. If you're an experienced player and I criticize you sometimes, it's never out of negativity. It's usually out of the fact that I am trying to be crucial, I guess. I don't even know the right word for it exactly. but I'm trying to, I guess, help in my way because I don't say that. Well, I don't like to say that. I guess I'm the know-it-all when it comes to my group of people. But when I play this game, out of the group of people that I play with, I know the most, and I don't say that just to say that. I say that because that's how it is, and I am not the best at certain modes. Obviously, I've been playing Conquest for about maybe half of season 3. I started in the halfway through season 3, but I've been playing Conquest pretty much almost every day for the past, I'd say, maybe 3 or 4 months, give or take. I never really liked Conquest before, just because I don't know. There was something about it to me that I guess rubbed me off, and I guess actually the reason that pretty much rubbed me off was because just playing with people, they were always extremely negative. They did not want to deal with you. They did not want to play with you if you didn't play the way that they wanted. If you picked a certain god, they didn't want to do. They didn't want you there because if you made one mistake, you were pretty much a detriment for the rest of the game, and they would always just talk extremely negative about you in the VGS command chat. And I. Uh, I guess I see it a lot more in Conquest than I do any other mode, and it's a little ridiculous considering that I see it all the time, and it just seems like this this thing that's never gonna die down, and it is obnoxious. I'll say that much. It's very annoying because I love Conquest. I really do enjoy playing that mode, but to have to deal with people that just are like this all the time, it's not fun, man. And that's pretty much the reason why I feel like I stopped playing Conquest. But I did get back into Conquest recently, and again, I'll say it. It's pretty much the same thing. That has not changed, and that's perfectly fine because when you play with a certain amount of people, you start to understand these things. You start to understand that this is just how the community is, and this is why the community is so toxic. Is because nobody wants to learn or understand that people have bad games. Not everyone is a good player 100% of the time, and that happens to everyone. Everyone has bad games. It's just natural. I mean, have you ever seen your favorite streamer or YouTuber make videos and, well, actually, just stream? Because a lot of people, when they make videos, they like to pretty much just cut out all their deaths. And I'll say I've done that a few times because it's not fun to watch people die all the time. But what doesn't, I guess, rub me the right way is the fact that how could you do that all the time? Like, if you really, really want this community to grow, if you really want to support this game the way that it's being supported, why can you not just simply support it? Like, it's not that hard. And again, this is potato aim of mine. And it's just the fact that I don't get this. I don't get how people could be so negative towards the community, towards a game that they love so much that they just want positivity to come from. But then they just go across and all they do is talk negative about it. Like, they have nothing ever positive to say about the community, about the people that they play with. And again, I've been guilty of things like that. I've been guilty of doing things like that, but never to new people. Like, I've only ever pretty much ever given slack to players that I personally know, that I realize that maybe they're not doing exactly what they are aiming to do. And it's just constructive criticism. I will never ever talk down to a player, because that's the opposite of what you want. Why would you want to do that purposely? Like, there's no reason for that. There's no reason to purposely talk down on a player who you know is usually a good player. You want them to be a good player. You want them to be a better player. You want them to understand, to learn more. Then don't be afraid to talk. Don't be afraid to say things that, maybe they may not like to hear it. I don't like to hear it sometimes. I know that for a fact. I'm a hardhead, and I'll listen. But honestly, to me, it really, really, really depends. Like, I have to, and I die here because Loki sucks. I have to pretty much completely, I guess, trust a player to take most criticism from, because a lot of the times, again, this is where, I mean, it probably sounds counteractive of what I'm saying, but there are only a few amount of players on console that really have a grasp for the game and fully understand just what exactly is going on majority of the time. And I consider myself one of those players. I don't do it to sound like I'm high and mighty and things and such. I say it because I've been playing this game for so long. I play it every single day, that I've dedicated so much time to learning all the characters that I've played, that I feel like I've learned every role. I've learned at least 3 gods from every single role. I currently have about almost 14 diamonds right now at the moment. That's simply because I have tried to learn majority of the characters that I've really, really enjoyed. I specifically set gods for myself as ways to better learn how to do, I guess you could say fundamentals, to learn how to play a certain play style. Just, I guess specifically speaking, I guess my top three personally were, in this order, was Uller, Tyr, and Ao Kuang. Right now, I got Uller Diamond about a couple months ago, and then I decided, well, I got this guy Diamond. I feel like I understand his fundamentals. I feel like I learned exactly how to play him. I learned how to aim with him. It doesn't look like it sometimes, but trust me, I know how to do it. I know how his axe works, things like that, because the axe does have a little bit of a swing to it. It's things like that. Every character has ways to playing them that are essential to learn. Again, it's the word fundamentals. You learn these things, and it makes you overall a better player. And same thing with Tyr. Tyr's a character that I feel like is very interesting. Not because only he has a stance switch, but simply because the way that he plays is he's very good early game. He could be very good late game if you snowball into it. And this is where the rest of the team comes in. Again, if you play Conquest, it's all about those rotations. It's all about things like that that really, really matter if you want to get your team ahead. And that's a completely different thing. It's a completely different video. But it's one of those gods. And then Ao Kuang, who I feel is sort of, I wouldn't say easy, but the fact that he has invisibility is very very handy, and that makes him a little bit, I guess, I would say more difficult, because you don't want to use it offensively half the time, but there's sometimes where you do want to use it offensively, but you want to make sure that you have a getaway. So he's a very late game character, and he's one of those characters, and this guy stopped playing, I don't know why. He's just a character with a learning curve. And again, majority of the characters in the game have a learning curve. It's very, very important to learn exactly where this curve comes in and where it leaves. So you always want to understand where your player skill comes in, and then where that god's player skill comes in. And if your play style matches that god. And it's just things like that that I guess people don't really understand, that they'll play gods and they won't really enjoy them, but for some reason they will just keep on playing them because someone told them to play them, when in reality, people don't, I guess, when you first start off the game, you don't really understand what you want. And that's completely understandable, because I didn't understand what I wanted. I just pretty much exclusively played Hunters and Mage because I didn't really understand the other roles. I hated Warriors, absolutely hated Warriors. I just did not enjoy them. I thought that they were the worst thing ever. And funny, I wouldn't say funny is not even a word. Ironically, I guess over time, I eventually started to absolutely love Warriors. And I play Warriors pretty much all the time now. And it's mostly because I guess just the playstyle. And I have, over time, learned to be aggressive. And that's pretty much why I love Uller, is because he is a chaser. In my opinion, that is. Once you get to mid to late game, and if you're pretty much ahead, which in this video, obviously am, friend stole the kill. As you can see, once you get ahead with a certain god, you could just pretty much abuse their playstyle. You could just do things, and that was obnoxious, sorry about that, that you could normally not do with other gods, and that's why I love this, guys, because once you get ahead, your playstyle becomes differently, because you can do more, and this is with almost every god. A lot of gods get this way, and there's some gods that if you let them get too much ahead, Kronos, Freya, Ao Kuang, pretty much just extremely powerful mages, Artemis, hunter-wise, they can do extreme amount of damage. They're pretty nuts overall. And again, that's just a point of the game, is learning gods that have these play styles, and this leads off into how people play them. And why the community is mostly so negative is because they want to see certain gods played a certain way. They want certain gods to always be played a certain way. And I get that, because I've been that way. I guess I'm this way just because I'm one of the only Ulu players that I see often that has as high stats as me on console. And it's probably just a ego thing for me. But I think that he's a very ability-based hunter. Pretty much that's it. If you build him auto-attack based, fine. If that works for you, that works for you. But do not tell me that, or anyone else that plays this god, that auto-attack is the right way, because it's never been that way until as of recently, in most matches where people like to build them auto-attack based, pro players build them auto-attack based, things like that. And that's for actual tournaments, because no way in hell are you going to get away with an ability-based hunter in in a SPO or a a actual match, and that's not something that will probably happen or is very likely to happen. It doesn't sound very likely to happen, and again, it's just counter building is exactly that's pretty much the point of what I'm saying is when you counter build, you can't do things like that. You cannot do an ability based build in certain modes because those other teammates are smart enough to realize that that's going to happen, so they're going to build against you or they're going to punish you at all times. So you want to make sure that you can build into something like that. If you need to go auto attack based, to make sure that you can and at all times put out the damage that you need to put out, then that's going to happen. That needs to happen. So it's the players that need to learn. It's the players that need to understand that if you're playing with this community, you need to realize that this is how it is right now. And that really sucks to say that. You have to realize that, yeah, the community right now is a very negative community, and they're very condescending half the time of what's going on. And personally, I feel like I have to say sorry half the time when I'm playing with certain people because they have to experience this community. And in reality, if you really enjoy the game, you really love the game, just do what you can to be as much of a positive outlet for the new players, for the learners, for the people that want to learn certain gods. Always just, be constructive. Don't mind. You just got to always be nice. And if you want Season 4 to be as great as it is, just, I guess, always have a positive mindset. Always look forward to being not a negative gamer, not a negative Smite player. Because, yes, they may be playing your god, they may not be playing your way, but it works for them. Everyone needs to realize that. I need to realize that. It's a thing that we all need to do as we move forward with the community, especially because Season 4 is going to be such a big change, most likely. I do realize that with the majority of this video, I did kind of stutter, and most of my points aren't exactly coherent and stuff like that. I haven't talked for this long in a very long time. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the little video for today. It's kind of a rant, something that I've never really done before. But if you understand any of my points or anything like that, just leave a comment below. I'm free to talk about this topic at any time. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.